Well, I alluded to the fact that there was a small town nestled in the valley, and here it is, and we're busting out a whole new acoustic instrument for this one. What button do I hit again? Oh, yeah, this one. For those of you who don't remember, I'm doing all of these in one take because I don't have the time to go through and edit and export and all this stuff for these. I'm barely keeping up with them as is. If you notice, I've worn the same shirt in the last 3 videos. That's because I'm batching these because I'm so overwhelmed with trying to do all this. But I love it. I'm not complaining. I love it. So, day 27. This is kind of maybe the final stop. This is where we're trying to get to. There's something in this town. We found another place of life. It wasn't the city. Was where we were supposed to stop, even though we almost did way back before the travail or the trek over the ocean and the travailing in the desert, all that. But we found something that just is drawing us in, something that's bringing us joy. There's this little town in this valley. We gotta go there. We've saw the fog melt off. We've been journeying over the hills, and boom, now we're almost to this place. And this is another one of these organic songs. To me, the last few songs, really tracks 25, 26, 27, all really fit together very nicely. They're kind of a continuation of each other. So we'll talk about the instrumentation used and such after the fact, but let's go ahead and flip over and listen to day 27. I really love that track. It blends so well with the last two tracks, and it fits the story narrative so well. And before we get into what is carrying the rhythm of this, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's carrying the lead. You hear this fiddle-like sound kind of being played throughout the whole thing, and that is what is called, and I'm probably botching the pronunciation of this, but it's an Erhu, E-R-H-U. Basically, it looks like this. And it is what is known as an Asian violin or an Asian fiddle or uh, basically to us Westerners, a Chinese fiddle is what a lot of us call it. It's a two-stringed violin-like instrument with a resonator on the bottom. So it kind of is like a cross between a violin and a resonator guitar, which is really interesting. It makes for a very fiddle-like sound. Fiddle's the primarily playing style of a fiddle, kind of gives that grass, folky, bluegrass feel to it. But an aru has a very, or an erhu, or whatever, erh, whatever this, the Chinese fiddle has a aru sounds like what the internet says dogs do. Whatever. Anyway, so I digress. I'm rabbit trailing. So basically, it gives it this very not metallic, but not almost kind of a raspy sound that I really, really like. Kind of almost like a tin whistle, but for strings. And so it has this rasp to it that fits so well. And it's something that I already had as a sample, which is really cool because Logic Pro, which is what I use to edit all of my programs, what we're watching these on whenever I flip over to them, has a ton of sampled instruments. And if you don't know what a sampled instrument is, basically people go and play these instruments in a studio, record each note individually, and upload it where you can play it on a keyboard, which I know y'all can't see, but I have my keyboard down here and I can play all of these instruments via my keyboard, the ones that I don't actually own yet. So it makes for a really good. I mean, it's very well. Some of them are like most of them now are very well done, and you can almost not even distinguish if you know how to play them correctly. One that doesn't sound that great is bagpipes, and I used that one as well. It's an older sample from 2013, hasn't been updated in a long time. Bagpipe samples are few and far between. There's a couple really good ones out there. Only one, I think, for Apple users, and I didn't have $100 to drop on it right this second. Probably will at some point. I actually own a real set of bagpipes too. I just don't know how to play them. It's the only instrument I own that I don't know how to play because I need to treat them right. The reed situation, there's a lot to bagpipes are just complex creatures. So I haven't learned to play those yet, but I did add a little bit of those as kind of an ambient drone toward the second half of this song. But the primary thing you hear is a mountain dulcimer, not like the hammered dulcimer you've been hearing. Hammered dulcimers kind of hit the strings and pluck in. There's a bunch of them on an array, almost like a harp. This is a mountain dulcimer. It is made to lay in your lap, and you play by dragging either a stick or your finger across and strumming. It's tuned to an open tuning, so and the frets are spaced out in a harmonic pattern. They're not chromatic like most instruments, so it does not play sharps and flats. It plays across a scale. And so it's hard to not play one really well, but they have a really cool sound and they're really popular in the Ozark Mountains. And I believe that's where they got to start. By the way, I bought this one off eBay. Someone had made it. I have no idea what these are supposed to be. I think ducks. I don't know, but I got it for a really good deal. I paid like $50 for this thing on eBay. It sounds good. It sounds really good. So whoever made it did a good job. No complaints. But there's a bunch of people locally that make these. You can buy these in folk stores up in the Ozark Mountains and stuff. They have a really unique sound. They're not the most versatile instrument, but if you can mold the music around them, which is kind of what you have to do, like what I did with this song. I started with this line. I actually recorded this song like 8 tracks ago, but it didn't fit, and I knew it would come in handy later on. But anyway, that's what this instrument was. That was what's carrying the rhythm from the beginning, and I really like this one. So with that being said, I actually have a call I have to jump on, so I'm bailing out of here. But if you haven't done so far, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel and let me know what you think about this track in the comment section below. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 28. Wow, day 28.